Hello, how's it going? I cannot believe this is our last official general meeting of the year. That's crazy.
It is.
That's where did it go? Where did it go?
I don't know.
Hmm. What is today? May 7th. Sheesh. Ah.
Playing your phone? Okay. Go to Little Park, and I don't mind if you ride other places in the neighborhood, just let me know.
Wonderful to see all these folks hopping on for our last meeting of the year. Ashley, is David going to be on the call today?
Here he is, coming in.
Coming in. Excellent. Wonderful. Oh, there he is. All right. We'll give folks another minute to hop on. Oh, seems like such a blur after all of those graduations and convocations and all that stuff last week. And yet I was up on campus yesterday, and what a mess with all the construction. Took me almost a half an hour to get from the Park Building to downtown last night.
Oh, wow.
All the way around. It was a test of patience. That was for sure. That is for sure. Well, I say let's yeah, adjudication stake. Yes, exactly, David. Exactly. Oh, can we use A lots as U lots? I know there is some of that, Blake. I know there is some use of A lots to be used as U lots during certain hours, but that's a good question. And a good question for Solomon if he's on the call. See if that's even an option. For sure. Okay, well, let's get going. Our last official general meeting of the 2024-25 fiscal year. Welcome. Just some quick reminders before we get going that we want to keep in mind a sense of professionalism, teamwork, let's assume positive intent, and foster community wherever we find ourselves. So, welcome, welcome. Ashley, pass it over to you.
All right. For the last meeting, I'm going to be very official and read it exactly how it says. Per Robert's Rules of Order, I sent the minutes and received no edits. So I am asking for a motion to approve the minutes as sent.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Thank you. And a second?
Seconded.
Okay, wonderful. And just a reminder that only full members, not ex officios, or if you're not a member of the staff council, you do not need to vote. If you could raise your hand if you approve the minutes, please do so. That was fast. Right? Okay. Okay. Looks like we're holding at 24. Thank you. And then any who oppose the minutes, please raise your hand. Great. And any who abstain? Wonderful. The minutes were approved.
Woohoo! All right. Moving on, UHESA updates. Bryant, what's going on with UHESA?
Don't really have any updates. I just wanted to remind everybody that the elections are still going on. And anyone who is a staff member at one of the state universities or colleges can be a part of the executive council. And I've put the link to the nominations in the chat with the password. There are a number of different positions that are open: the president-elect, the communication officer-elect, the governor relations officer-elect, the professional development officer-elect, and the professional development officer. I did the professional development officer last year, and it was a lot of fun. And there is another presentation coming up in fall that we did that were similar as the last two that we've done. I don't have any details on it yet, but those are to come.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, and it's a great way to meet with and work with folks from all over the state. We actually have our annual in-person meeting in July, and we rotate every year. So this year we're going to be at Weber up in Layton, I believe, for a day and a half. So should be a good time. Okay. In terms of Board of Trustees, no giant updates, and our next Board of Trustee meeting got pushed out a week. The board is somewhat winding down from a very busy and exciting year. But then we'll look forward to those starting up again after this meeting. I believe the next one is in, I can't remember if it's in July or in August. There is a pause. I think there's no July. In which time in August, our own Bryant Gordon should be presenting our digest to the Board of Trustees. So that'll be exciting to see.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. No, it's a good time. And then Academic Senate, the update was simply that Academic Senate wrapped up their year at the last meeting, which again, they were so busy and got so much done. Harriet, I don't know if you want to add any color commentary on this past year of the Academic Senate, or are you taking a break from even using those two words together?
Oh, no. No, the Academic Senate's still pressing on. Our work never ceases. I think we had a tumultuous year, a year of an enormous amount of work, and also a year in which we demonstrated the value of shared governance with feedback leading to better proposals and really a lot of work getting done, lots of voices being represented.
Yeah.
And we did elect a new president-elect so Richard Price is going to be the liaison here after May 15th. He is going to be our president. He's from the Humanities College. He's in the English department. And then we elected a new president-elect who will start on May 15th, Brent Milne, who's a dentist. So he's in the School of Dentistry, and he is our first president from the dental school, which is only like a decade old, and our second career line faculty Senate president. Randy Dreyer was the first, so not tenure track. So
Excellent.
A groundbreaker in many ways. He's a fabulous person and will be a great president. So there you are.
Amazing. Amazing. So yeah, it was quite a edifying and educational year. It was an incredible
No, I was talking
time.
about David wrote in the chat that getting him to agree to be the president-elect must have been like pulling teeth. I'm sorry, I just could not help but react. That was just a lot. But I will remember that when I introduce him.
Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent. And then the Academic Senate starts again then is it August when the new year starts? When the first meeting is?
Yeah. So the executive committee continues starting again in June. We skip in May, although we have a little special meeting tomorrow to deal with a little special thing. And then the executive committee meets all summer.
Yeah.
The first Senate meeting is August 25th.
August.
Technically the September meeting, but in order to avoid Labor Day. So so the Senate is off until
Excellent.
August 25th.
Excellent. And then Bryant Gordon will be representing staff council going forward. So that will be very exciting. Speaking of Bryant Gordon, let's go back to you, Bryant. I think you wanted to make some announcements or introductions going into our new year, your new year.
Yeah, it could be ours. It'll be ours. Yeah, we just wanted to make a final announcement of next year's executive committee and boards, our chairs. So ABC chair is Jason Inosa. ABC chair-elect Mandy McBride. Development chair Sean Carter. Development chair-elect Louisa Rogers. Is there a question? Oh, sorry. Events chair Marie Wintris. I just said your name wrong. That's funny.
Or Maria.
No, Maria.
Maria.
Events chair elect will be Kendall Von Horsen. Legislative chair will be Ariana Forth. Legislative chair elect will be Saima Samuel. Staff connections chair will be Emily Murasso, excuse me. Staff Connections Chair-elect will be Joey Parker. Selections Chair will be Ben C. Johnson. Selections Chair-elect will be Taylor Lewin. Communications Chair will be Ann Gardner. And communications chair-elect will be Kara Moore. And then on our executive committee will be me as president, Ali Mensdorf as president-elect. Secretary will be Olivia Shofa. Secretary-elect will be Ashley Hogan. Treasurer will be Ruby Steele. Treasurer-elect will be Jason Lee. And the past president will be Marie Winters.
What a crew. What a crew. That's going to
It'd be
be,
good.
it will be great. Very exciting. So with that in mind, keeping an eye on the time, let's go through some committee updates. Susan or Sean, any news from the development committee?
Hi, everybody. I don't think so. We've been, well, one of our members on the development committee asked a question, and neither Sean nor I knew the answer. So it's going to be something I think that Sean looks to maybe doing a little research on with his committee starting in July. But, the idea was, well, why don't we use some kind of crowdsourcing options for raising money? Because, you go beyond the family of the University of Utah staff. So that's number one. You're on the World Wide Web. So whoever has the interest in donating is allowed to. I fear that probably once we meet with advancement and legal and all the other entities that we're probably going to be told no. But, I live in the world of, don't ask for permission, just beg for forgiveness. It's a great idea. I still and I put my 2 cents in as we were going around in email the last couple of weeks, but I still dream of a day where we get an endowment from one of our corporate partners at the University of Utah that we can self-generate our own professional development awards and remove the necessity or the urgency for, constantly reaching out for small tidbits of money here or there. If people want to give, great. But, if we want to make sure that we're offering a certain number of PDA awards, the professional development awards annually, we really need to get eventually to a point where we have a substantial amount of money that generates that dollar amount for us without. So everything else is just gravy. It's just extra. It's just a benefit. But it's not like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We don't have enough money this year for, 5 PDA awards. That kind of stress I would love to see do away with. But anyway, I think there's enough interest. We'll probably look into that as the new year starts and see, maybe it's just that nobody's ever asked the question before. So wouldn't that be exciting if we could do something like that? So, and then we're trying it. You would not think that getting 7 people all together in one space, Marie, would be as challenging. I'm absolutely adamant that we will gather in person before the end of the year. And it's just been proving next to impossible to get all 7 of us in one spot on one day. Yep. So still trying for that. That's probably how we'll end our committee for my year ending in June.
Excellent. Harriet, you had a question or comment?
I had a comment. The policy on use of university resources is really pretty stringent, and I worry that the crowdfunding, just from the start, you could crowdfund not as a representative of the university, and I will say the UUSC is absolutely a representative of the university, but so you could all go out and crowdfund as individuals for money for you that you could donate. I think you could potentially coordinate with advancement, but I don't know that anybody uses crowdfunding. And I think it's something that I would be nervous if I were advancement of the ways that crowdfunding could.
Yeah, I know,
reflect
Harry,
back.
and you have to have like a single owner of the account, and that, I mean,
Yeah, Blake,
there are probably more. There are a lot of red flags, but I still live in the land of if you don't ask, you don't get. So we'll ask and we'll see what the limitations are. If it makes sense as something to try, we can try it. If it doesn't, then we say, okay, well, we've crossed that off the list of things to do.
Blake, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, and I'm by no means an expert on this, but just having a place here in the advancement office, there are actually mechanisms in place to allow crowdfunding for this kind of purpose. Now, it is regulated and there are very specific things you have to follow to do it, but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, that's great to hear, Blake, because I mean, again, it's a conversation, and all of this would be used for um, towards an endowment or towards money that's gifted away. Obviously not to pay anybody's bills, personally on the committee and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, sweet.
Susan,
Well,
do you know who specifically to speak to about that? Because if you don't, I could point you in the right direction.
I don't believe any of us do. We were kind of talking more theoretically with each other. And so, yes, a name or two. If you would you be able to email me, Blake? That would be awesome. And I'll share it
I'll
with
email
the
you in,
committee.
Sean.
Yeah,
awesome.
perfect. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
this
Yep.
call was worth our time, right? Just right there, having that
There you go.
conversation and making that connection. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Events. I see Melissa on the call. Mama Melissa. Yes.
Probably still be me.
Hi guys.
Hello.
I was gonna say I just got
Oh, yeah.
back today. So
Welcome
Melissa.
back.
thanks.
Oh, that's so
I'm
exciting.
gonna defer to the team.
Yay. Yay. Bryant.
Yeah,
What's
so
going on?
the only thing we got going on, the only thing left is our end of year party, which will be in place of this meeting next month on June 4th. We'll be up with the auxiliary business department people, development people, excuse me, doing some food and meeting up there. I've got a RSVP that I'm going to post. Maria, I can't remember if we posted this last time or
I
not.
don't think we did.
Okay, great. So in the chat is the RSVP. So if you are planning on attending, please RSVP so that they know how many people are coming, so we can get food and everything like that ready. And there should be some little games with prizes and stuff that we'll be doing as well. And yeah, that's the only thing I have.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. That is going to be a hoot. And this will be very interesting because we now have signed an MOU with Auxiliary Business Development to help us not only, source swag and things like that, but more importantly, to create these partnerships with corporate sponsors to get money for things like endowments and funds. So, I mean, I think it's a really exciting way to end this year and kick off the next year. So, thank you. Krista, what is anything happening on the legislative side of things that you want to share?
Yeah, nothing to update. They did reach the threshold for signatures for HB 267, including in the required districts, but there's still time that not like official yet, the ballot to be on the ballot during the next election, but because there's still a time period to remove signatures, but it's looking great. And
do you know when that next ballot is? Is it going to be in the summer? Or will it be in November again?
when our midterm, just next year, sometime. I actually need to look.
Just curious.
Yeah.
if you knew. Okay.
Yeah, it's next year sometime.
Awesome. And just a question going back to the RSVP, Brian, is there a deadline to respond?
Yes, the week before. So let's call it the sorry. 28th of May.
5/28. Okay.
5/28.
Cool.
And I'll send out an email to everybody too, just to remember with also the time and the place and everything like that in there.
Excellent. Awesome. That would be great. Cool. Oh, and Sarah, thank you so much. So noting that it's going to be on the 2026 ballot. Thank you. Appreciate that. Cool. Comms, is Anne on the call? Anne might be out of town. Is that correct, Ashley? Does that ring a bell?
She didn't let me know, but she does have an out of office
Okay.
reply. But today was sort of the day that I wasn't sure if she was back or not.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, well, I can give everyone just a quick update. We have been, we're working through the final, or the first draft copy, probably won't be final, first draft copy for the digest. So we are working with the marketing department to get that copy read and laid out. So probably in June sometime, we will, as we get closer to the end, before we give it a final blessing, we will share that with the executive committee, just to get any final tweaks or feedback. But that is moving forward. So good news there. The other thing that we're working on, and the Anne and crew are working on, is we are developing some special, very high quality swag for EAD this year that we are doing in conjunction with alumni and the 175 celebration. So we're doing some sourcing and some small design, but we're looking at a handful of very specific items that somebody would actually want to keep and use. So we're working on that too. So that's it, I think, from comms. New staff connections. David, what's going on there?
Yeah, emails continue to go out. Emily sent out our May email yesterday solo, so she's kind of taken that over now. But open rates continue to be pretty good. We do see a little bit of a drop off into the second email, the 3-month touch point emails that are going out, but still pretty good open rates. And we won't see a 1-year email until next November, so can't report back on that yet. And we will be going out for our in-person meeting this month from May 20th. So we'll have a lunch.
Awesome. Excellent. Ray, what is going on with ABC?
I don't have any updates.
Okay. All right. And selections. Jessica, what's going on with the selections committee?
We've got some updates. Our committee just finalized a review of our Summer Professional Development Awards. We'll be awarding 2 candidates. We notified those candidates today and just waiting to see if they will accept. I imagine they will. So we'll make sure and get that out in the next newsletter. We're also currently evaluating new member applications. We've got, I think Marie said, a record number of applicants who've applied, and we have a lot of seats to fill. So we're working through that. We plan to finalize those evaluations now in May and then name those candidates in June. We're also going to host a luncheon over the summer to bring together the committee and also welcome the new selections chair, Bency, and the selections chair-elect, Taylor. So looking forward to getting to meet them and working with our committee. And then the last thing we're doing is we're just waiting for, we're going to obtain the list of faculty award applicants from the comm team, and then we'll start to evaluate those and name that winner as well. So selections is moving along.
So exciting. And we'll certainly want to include the summer PDA and the faculty club in the digest. So as soon as y'all have that, we've got places that we're holding for that. So that'd be awesome. Yay. Excellent. Any questions for Jessica and crew? Excellent. Groovy. Okay. Checking the time. We are We are cruising through this today. Let's see. How about some updates from our liaison? Kara, any updates from sustainability?
Yes, hi. I will open my laptop. My external camera has not been happy with me.
Oh no.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I have a pretty exciting update. Marie was talking about ABD, Auxiliary Business Development and relationship there, which is really cool. The Sustainability Office also has a partnership with them where we get money as part of Pepsi's marketing budget for sustainability. And we've used this for a bunch of different ways. But this year, we're bringing in a little green grant program specifically for staff and for our green offices. So we've got about $5,000 that we would like to spend. You've got to be a green office to be able to apply, but you can do anything from, shoot, we've never had budget to buy recycled paper to, can we get, an electric cart so that we can, instead of driving our personal vehicles to events, we can actually just pull it with us on campus, and it's easier to do that. And sort of the sky's the limit within our small budget. But I wanted to, you all are the first to know. And so really the thing to do is to think about, am I already part of a green office? And if not, let's make you part of a green office. And then you can apply for this funding. So I'll put the email to get in touch with is greenoffice@utah.edu. And I'm happy to answer some questions, but what will probably make the most sense is for you to just contact me and we'll set up a meeting and we'll talk through whatever the next steps need to be. And I can share more information that way.
Awesome. And I would just say, Kara, if you want to call out in the next newsletter, just send a quick note to Anne.
Yeah, will do.
That's awesome. Any questions? Congratulations. Woohoo. That's awesome.
It's exciting.
Okay. Kim Barnett, any updates from safety?
Yes. Hi, everyone, from your friends at Public Safety. Just a couple things, a little teaser. We're working on revamping some of the trainings and presentations that we offer our campus community. This summer, we're going to be reworking those and hopefully offering some that are of interest to many of you. So I'll be announcing that at the end of the summer, some different training and presentation options if anyone in your office is interested. So more to come there. And also we're going to be posting a job very soon for 2 student interns who may want to work with us. That job posting should be out in the next couple of weeks. And it's always so great to work with the students who get really kind of hands-on here at Public Safety. So, and of course, if anyone needs anything else, we're just a phone call away over here. So thanks so much.
Awesome. Any questions or comments for Kimberly, Public Safety? Okie doke. I did not see anyone. I did not see Andrea, Amanda, Byron, or Mandy. I know Mandy's not on the call. Bree, do you have any news on childcare?
I do not have any updates this month.
All right.
But I do want to remind everyone, go and do your open enrollment. So it's open enrollment time. Get in there. If you are having a child or had a child, enroll for the dependent care. It's $5,000 tax-free. While it doesn't seem like a lot of money, it's amazing. But that's all I have right now.
Awesome. Excellent. Aaron Sullivan, I saw you were on the call. Any updates?
I also don't have any updates this month, but we are also available if anybody needs us.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Excellent. And I didn't see Whitney Werner on the call from Wellness. Mandy's not here, and I did not see Solomon. So, with that in mind, we are running significantly ahead of schedule, we could do one of two things. We could either take a petite break, or Harriet, if you and Sarah are ready, we could just jump into your presentation. Sarah on the call. Let's look.
Sarah is planning to join at 3, but I just texted her to say, hey, can you join now?
Okay. All right.
So maybe you could do
we could do a small pause for, yeah, we had a very tight schedule today.
yeah, like
Why don't you well, let's just take this moment, since we're just mixing up the itinerary for today anyway. Why don't we take a moment for any shout outs or successes? Yeah, David.
Not a shout out, but Mandy had sent a message asking if we could remind everybody about the opening of the Staff Excellence Awards. And I will post a link to the nomination form for that. So staff, if you're not familiar with those, it's a way to give a shout out to somebody else on campus who you think is doing a phenomenal job. So that's going in the chat right now.
Awesome. And I believe those just opened, and I think they're open through, is it the end of June? I believe. Yeah, Kara.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. I wanted to shout out the ABC committee. I hosted a book club at my house of a bunch of people that I didn't know very well. And I took the presentation that they gave about thinking about allergies and access and accessibility and everything. And I just felt like I made it much more open, and it made it easier for people who didn't know me to say like, oh, well, actually, I do have this allergy, or, yeah, do you have cats? Because I wouldn't have asked, but you gave me the opening or whatever. So thank you so much for the work you put into that presentation. I thought it was great, and I used it in my own personal life.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. Anyone else? All right. Well, maybe we do this. You said, Harriet, that she's going to be planning on being here at 3. We could
because she was focused on the schedule as printed, but I texted her. I haven't heard back from her.
Okay.
But hopefully she'll be here soonish.
Well,
because we'd be happy to start a little early if we can.
Yeah. Well, we could do one of two things. One, we could take a pause till 2:45 and check in. And if she's on and ready to go, we'll get going at 2:45. And if not, we'll take a further break till 3. How's that? Okay. All right. So let's do that.
Sarah just texted that she can join. So I'll just say we'll start at 2:45.
Perfect. Okay. All right, everyone, feel free to enjoy the next few minutes. Turn your camera off, and we'll be back at 2:45.
Oh, I did it. I did that. I did do that.
Hey, Chantel, just so you know, you're not on mute.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I just messaged her earlier to you.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
No worries.
What did I say? Oh,
Nothing. Yeah, it wasn't anything. Yeah.
Nothing
I was
exciting.
just letting you know before you said something. So
Oh my
Apparently
goodness.
you already did something.
Thank you. I'm sweating now. Thank you.
As folks are returning back to the call, I just dropped in the chat a reminder about some free professional development workshops and webinars. These were sent out in the most recent newsletter, but I just wanted to highlight them again and let folks know these opportunities are available and they're amazing. The first two are in person, including breakfast and lunch both days, and then the last week-long session are all sorts of webinars that are free and online. So feel free to check those out. And if you have any questions, feel free to ping me, and I'll hook you up. Okay, it is 2:45. I hope you all enjoyed your time away and got some nice relaxation in. Happy to introduce both not only Harriet Hopp, who you know, but Sarah Burton from UCAN. So we'll pass it over to you two and take it away.
Okay. And I know Sarah's going to come on camera again in a second. I feel like I know she's here because I can see her name.
Yes. Hello.
So welcome everybody. Sarah and I are two of the three co-directors of the Utah Coaching and Advancement Network, and we're excited to be here today to talk about coaching and also maybe some opportunities to engage with UCAN. So we go on to the next slide. I'm very proud of this figure that I created. And it says the world of academic healthcare, I now realize, but really the world of academic work is just getting ever more complex and high stakes. And this is a slide I generally show to faculty in that that's my primary audience. But I will say, if you are on the staff here, regardless of what you do on the staff, this is also a burden that you are bearing. The amount of service we do, if you're in the hospital world, the amount of clinical care service you do, but in the rest of the world, there's just so much service to be done. We are, and I think about, and I know that much of the work you do is that in the world of education, in the world of research. So if I sort of think about all of them, clinical care service, but let's just talk about clinical care for a second. The expectation for the quality of care has gone up and up and up, which is a good thing, but it requires interdisciplinary care, guidelines. That's just a lot of work. The quality of education we provide keeps getting better. Again, that's a good thing, but as with everything, it's adding workload, right? Now we're doing small group teaching. Now you can't just get up and have a boring 60 by 60 table slide and drone on. You have to be engaging. You have to flip the classroom, right? We were educating everybody, right? We're not just educating students. Everybody's a learner. And so I think that's a big thing about it. And then in the world of research, it's again got to be interdisciplinary. Let's not even think about whether you can get funding now, but even before getting funding was hard. It's hard to get funding. The NIH is funding, you know, at the 8th or 10th percentile. It's just a lot of work. You have to be creative. The way you write it has to be better. And so just the amount of work we have to do. I'm sorry I'm starting this out in sort of a depressing way, but I will say that my positive spin on that is the things that we do in higher education are getting better and better and better. And as we get better at stuff, we are asked to do more things because it becomes obvious all the ways that it could work. And when I think about staff, I think about all the ways that none of us faculty could do any of these high impact things we do without the people who make it work, and sometimes are the brains behind the operation. So if we go on to the next slide, one of the things I want to think about is, and Sarah, you can just, I forgot to undo this. Just go ahead and show everything. I can't, because I'm not controlling the slides. I can't go through this. But when I sort of think about now you got to go back, sorry, the world that we live in, how can we make it so that despite all these higher expectations, higher quality, higher stuff we have to do, how can we make it so that people are supported in what they do? So we sort of think about, what are the core professional relationships that you need to be successful in your work? So we have here at the center you, when I think about me, like you report to a senior leader. If you're faculty, you obviously don't report to anybody, but theoretically you report to a senior leader. No, everyone has someone they report to. And then there are people who report to you or who do work at your request or who are learners that you are in charge. Like there are lots of people. And honestly, if you're a staff person, there's probably people who think of themselves as above you in the hierarchy, but for whom you make, like you do work to make them successful. And then, so those are sort of the two people that the two sort of sides of things of who you report to, who you have to live up to, and also who you're supporting or being supported by. And then that's the formal side. And then there's this informal things. You got informal mentors and role models. You've got sponsors and connectors who help you find opportunities. You've got collaborative peers that you work together with that make it all easier to do and also more fun to do. You've got supportive colleagues who just stand up for you, even if you're not collaborating with them. And those are all really important core professional relationships. We're going to highlight the two in green and really one of them. So one of them is mentoring, is a mentor. Having a mentor is really important no matter where you are in your career. It's someone who shares a path and a perspective with you, who can give you some advice, but who also can kind of understand, like if you tell them, here's my goal, where I want to go, they have the context to understand sort of help you, how to help you get there. The pitfall for them is not helping you get to where they think you should go, but helping you to get to where they want to go. And then we have coaching, and the idea of coaching is different from a mentor. With a mentor, it's someone you know really well, you build that relationship with usually. With a coach, it's often someone who doesn't know you that well, and they're really process focused. They are helping you know yourself better so that you can understand where you want to go. So we think these are all core professional relationships that are really important. UCAN is very focused on coaching and mentoring, and especially coaching, but we also dabble in mentoring because it's so important. And so now I'm going to hand off to Sarah to give you a little more content about coaching.
Yeah, so thanks so much for having me here all. Coaching, I am a certified coach. I'm a PCC with ICF, which is a bunch of acronyms that really don't matter all that much. It's really just about that I've learned these skills and love using these skills. You don't have to be a coach to use coaching skills. So UCAN is not just about training up coaches, although we're doing that not, you know, crazy with a certification, but definitely in what we call internal coaching providers. That we're training them up to know some of these skills and know how to approach coaching in a safe, confidential, helpful way. But we also teach on how to use a coaching approach, even if you're not using it in a role as a coach. All of us are leaders, even staff are leaders, even if they are not given some sort of title of this is my leader. You're leading something, whether it's people, programs, processes, you are leading something. And so using some open-minded principles that coaching really embodies, it can help you with your flow of work. If you think about, you know, your biggest problems at work, it's usually something along the lines of something interpersonal or something that is really hard and it's wrestle. Maybe it's an issue with the system that you can't control. And so using a coaching approach can help you see through the roadblocks and see the possibility that is a lot more helpful to build off of. So who should have maybe a formal coaching, you know, kind of interaction relationship if we're talking more formally? We'd like to say everybody. Yes, everyone deserves a coach, but there is a limit of cost and access of certified coaches. That can be a hard thing to come by. It can be an expensive thing to come by. I'm sure some of you are aware that many departments are hiring outside coaching firms to come in and do coaching for them. And it's quite a price. We are trying to help develop a coaching culture where that might not be so much of a need, that we all have some shared skills of coaching and that we approach things in that kind of developmental way. And yes, it'd be great to say everyone has a formal coaching relationship. We can get as close as we can to that. Even my formal coaching relationships, like my coach, I speak to her maybe twice a year. there was a while there where it was like every month, let's get through these things. And I'm sure there's some stuff that's going to come up that, life changes where I'm like, I need a lot of coaching sessions. Can we schedule something month by month? But it's can vary in that need. It's not necessarily, I have a coach that I meet with every single week, although that is a really nice relationship to have as well. So
May I point out, Sarah,
please.
that you and I both are benefiting from when we do coach training or mentor training, one of us coaches the other one. So I feel like I get a lot of coaching now in the context of teaching, which is delightful.
Yes, couldn't agree more. I should have maybe mentioned Harriet's my informal other coach that we use each other quite a bit with that. So why does this coaching approach even matter? Why do this instead of just all of us wrestle through our days and maybe do some HR trainings here or there and try to do better? The coaching approach is really helpful in an academic way for a few reasons. Some of these that I'm not going to read through completely, but you can with our slides later if you need to. I just want to point out a couple that oftentimes how academics is promoted and structured together is, oh, you have these letters behind your name, so therefore you can lead, which is not always the case. It's sometimes a little bit more of, oh, I have these people skills, but I'm not given this leadership opportunity because I don't have these letters behind my name. Or I do have both, but I still need help learning how to lead people because this is a lifelong journey of understanding how to lead people. I'm saying people, but it's really processes, programs, really whatever you are leading. Your leadership is a lifetime skill to journey towards not just a X destination. Hey, now I'm here and I'm good. And a coaching approach can help you be comfortable and okay with that kind of goal. UCAN has all sorts of opportunities to offer up some of this kind of understanding and learning of a coaching approach, of coaching skills. Yes, we are based in the faculty office, so it's very faculty geared. But like Marie shared with you earlier, that these summer series are now open to staff. We are continuing to try to open things to staff. On our website, these guides are there and available if you want to lean into those and read over some of those as well. So in coaching fashion, we like to make this a little interactive and want to turn some of this over to you. We would love to hear from anyone, and they don't have to disclose, details of confidentiality if they don't want to, but has anyone on this call experienced formal coaching, and what was your experience with that?
Maybe we could take down the slides so we can see people's faces.
Good idea. Yeah, Marie.
If there's no one else to jump in, I can get the ball rolling. So I had the great good fortune for 6 or 9 months to get to work with Sarah as my coach. And I kid you not, she changed my life. And I know she didn't mean to. It was accidental. That was not her purpose. But really, it was an amazing experience because you were very clear. This is not about mentoring. I'm not here to give you advice. I'm also not a therapist. And the boundaries that you set were very clear and very simple, but through a series of asking me questions, it was shocking when you would listen and ask a question, and when you stumped me and I went, ha, that's when I knew that you had helped me realize something that I needed to realize. And it was either some things we talked about were some career goals, which was super clarifying, as well as some like personal goals, like, around my health. And both of those things were amazing. And I kid you not, you changed my life in such a positive fashion. So
it
was really fun.
Comments. It was fun, right?
It was really fun.
I would argue I didn't do anything to change you, though, that was you figuring out what you needed. I was just the mirror to help you see it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yes.
It's very powerful. Very powerful.
I might want to, it's amazing. And I must say, Sarah is a great coach, fun to work with. Coaching is fun, although it's also often tear inducing. I'm always excited when I get someone to cry because I know that they are actually digging into something. I'm leaning into feeling excited about it because I used to go, oh, I'm going to go to a different topic because I do not want to see someone cry, but it's great. And oftentimes, sometimes there are tears of joy of, oh, I've discovered something new that's important.
Yeah.
So one of the other things I think about is